Okay. Hey guys, NeusNexus here, about to do another interview. I know. It's like, wasn't it just 2 weeks ago I did some shit like this? All right, anyway, today I am with Hwalder. I hope I pronounced that okay again, because we discussed this before this, though I was hopefully not going to.
Yes, it is indeed me. I am Hwalder Richards from DaGameTrain. Hello.
Exactly. Yes, and your channel is currently up on my screen. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But first off, I'd like to ask you, why do you game?
Why do I game? Because
Yes,
I got things to gain. Yes, swell up! Sorry, I actually kind of got carried away. Well, I play video games because, I don't know, I like them. I mean, what else is there to say? I like video games.
Yeah, you just generally like them for what they are. So you don't have no specific reason about your childhood or anything like that. That you just like, yeah, I just like games. That's it, right?
Sort of. I mean, I started playing since I was 3 years old, and my first console was the Sega Genesis, because Nintendo,
good one.
Nintendo here, for some odd reason, was not. It didn't exist. You couldn't find such a thing as a Nintendo thing. So that kind of led me to a different path of gaming, let's say. First the Sega Genesis, then the PS1, then the PC. But that we can talk about that a bit later, I guess, if you feel like it.
Yep. Oh yeah. This is like as I did with Tash the Cat. I'll have a card pop up in a moment. Basically, this is a very kind of formal thing. I'm just going to ask you some stuff about that. So we'll get into the nitty gritty of everything, and it's all good to be yourself. I don't care if you swear like a sailor and I'll lick the floor or some shit. I don't know. And you're like, oh, what the hell is wrong with this one?
I haven't heard about licking the floor, but okay.
All right. Yeah, I know. Okay. So you said that you started with the Sega Genesis. What games did you start playing first off? What was some of your favorites?
Oh, that's kind of hard to remember, actually. I think the very first one may be Sonic the Hedgehog, actually. But surprisingly enough, that's really not my favorite.
But you gotta go fast, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I never really thought that's the idea, but I didn't think it was all that great. What I really liked, though, were Streets of Rage, Revenge of Shinobi, Dynamite Headdy, actually. That's my all-time favorite.
Mm-hmm. And are you currently playing any of those on your channel?
Oh yeah, I have played all of them, actually, and a few more. I'm currently working on a redo, sort of a Revenge of Shinobi playthrough, and I'm thinking about revisiting Dynamite Headdy again.
Okay. So when I was talking to Tash about like he says that you're mainly retro, so you like the old retro stuff, because I see a lot of retro stuff on your channel. Do you find that is more enjoyable for you? That you find that the retro gaming is a little bit better suited for your style than the newer stuff is? In
a way, actually, but it all really started like about 2012, where I had a very shitty PC, so I didn't have much of a choice. It was either these games or nothing. But eventually, I kind of grew to that idea, and, how should I say this? It's like, when I started playing more of these old games, I started to notice that they're a lot more interesting to play than the newer ones, simply because they're not talked about often, if at all.
Yeah.
They were just simply more mysterious, and I like that little mystery. I want to see if they were worth a damn or not. Whereas most of the newer games that are coming out at that time, and still are today, they were usually spoiled even before the game was fully out. So at that point, I could just tell whether or not I like the game simply by looking at the footage or the articles.
Okay.
With these older games, you couldn't do that because there's hardly anything going on besides some hearsay and gossip and such. So you'd have to actually play the game for yourself to be able to tell. That's mostly what's keeping me going, actually, because I have a pretty big list of old games that I want to try out. Whether because I used to play them before and I want to see if they still hold up, or because I've seen them before somewhere, but I never got the chance to actually try them out.
So, what are you currently playing right now on your channel that you would like the viewers to know about?
Oh, well, I normally play like several games in advance, and then I just upload them once they're done editing, because, I like to keep myself like several weeks in advance of the schedule, so that I don't have to worry about running out of footage all of a sudden. At the moment, I've been recording a few Sega games. Like I said, I recorded Revenge of Shinobi on hard mode. I think it was hard mode. I can't quite remember, actually. But it was one of my fastest runs, too. It was quite an amazing run, if I do say so myself. And I'm also recording Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, with some friends. And I also started recording Orcs and Elves on the Nintendo DS.
So you have a thing in your other playlist, and it's called Fucks Around?
That is kind of an outdated playlist. It used to be a place where we put videos for Modern Blade Warband, actually. But eventually those videos transformed into a whole separate thing, which we like to call King of the Clunk.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was just scrolling through and I just see your channel name, Fucks Around. I'm like, oh, I kind of wonder what's going on there.
That hasn't been updated in a long while, but who knows, maybe one day we'll have something that just doesn't quite fit anywhere else.
So how long have you been doing your channel?
I started, I'm not entirely sure, about 5 or 6 years ago. Like I said, I started back in 2012. And I think if you look in the About page, you can notice that the date says, I think it's March 23rd, if I remember correctly.
This is 23rd.
It is an interesting date, actually, because, I only found out about this by a complete coincidence, because, I was just looking around, and, I've been on Markiplier's channel one time, because, I just ended up there after somebody linked the video. I look at his About page, and I noticed that he made his channel at the exact same day as I did. It's a funny coincidence, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't really mean anything.
No, it just means that you two guys are just like, okay, I'm going to click a button on a certain day. There you go.
It's kind of interesting how you can take these two channels and just see that on the same day, two different turns of events happened. One guy got really popular, the other one not so much, but I don't really care about that.
Okay, I just switched over to your videos playlist. I'm guessing that you do some streaming.
Yes, I occasionally stream. They don't have a set schedule because I'm pretty terrible at that stuff. But whenever we do stream, it tends to be pretty nice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I see a lot of game and chill. Is that mainly the series that you do when you stream? Is it just game and chill and just like you're just chilling and gaming and everybody can come watch if they want? That's the kind of deal?
That's pretty much the idea. That's the name of the stream, really. Game and chill. Now with 100% more game. Not sure about the chill part though.
Well, if you do it in a freezer, it's really chill. Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on the game in question, I would say, because sometimes there's not quite enough chill.
Yeah, that is the truth of it, especially with certain games. Let's see.
Just a quick interjection again. If you want something that's not gonna make you chill, you should try Gargoyles on hard mode. Trust me, that will not be chill.
Oh God, I remember that.
Fucking hell, it's not chill at all, but I think it deserves that reputation because, as far as I'm concerned, that is the hardest game on the Sega Genesis.
Yeah, I think I was that I saw there was like some people were going on about can't remember exactly what system it was on. It was the first. It was a Lion King game. It was a Disney game a while ago, and apparently it says, yeah, it was a Disney, and apparently it's supposed to be so hard, where they've quoted as being like, you don't know hell until you play through the first level of this game. It's like, what? It's like a Disney game.
No, I wouldn't agree with that. See, I have played it. I tried to record it a few times, but, well, you're not gonna see that footage because it was horrible. Mostly because the game is trash, but I wouldn't call that game hard. It's not necessarily so hard as more in it's annoying. It has stupid things that really shouldn't be there. They sometimes don't make sense, or they do, well, things that you wouldn't want it to do. Like they kill you with something stupid, or it's a thing that you should be picking up, but then you find out, no, you shouldn't be picking this up, but you have no way of telling. There's odd little choices in game design with that game that don't really make the game enjoyable. It's a lot more annoying than it is hard.
Yeah, that's as the thing is. A lot of people that I've seen that have talked about it say, "Oh, it's so hard." And it's like it looked to me like it was just annoying.
Yeah, that's pretty much that's pretty much the same thing with Battletoads. Actually, I can understand where people come from when they say the SNES version is hard because it also happens to be pretty buggy. But the Genesis version, I will never agree that it's hard. It's on the same level as pretty much any Castlevania game or a Dark Souls game. It's hard for the first few times, but once you learn everything about it, it's very easy.
Medal of Honor. Oh, here he is. Medal of Honor.
Oh, hell yeah.
I remember that game. Oh my god.
Dude, Medal of Honor was awesome back in the day.
It was. It really was. I loved it. And I always used to like have fun on, I think it's a sub level. One of the sub levels where I think it's like there's like a bunch of them coming down the ladder or something. I don't remember exactly where it was, but it was just funny, like the way the polygons were reacting with the ladder or something. It's like it's been a long time, so I'm probably maybe I am thinking of the wrong thing, but it was.
It's even better when you're recording because emulators and screen capturers don't really like to talk with one another. So sometimes things happen that really shouldn't be happening, like the gun turning into a crossbow for some reason, or even better, the entire level just disappearing.
Oh yeah, the emulators love that, where you just suddenly it's like, well, I'm just not going to cooperate with you today.
I don't really care though, because that makes for some hilarious moments for me, especially when I look back at the footage, because when I'm recording, it pisses me off, but then I watch it back, it's fucking funny. I love seeing myself pissed off at these kind of silly things.
Oh yeah.
Now, I do have to say though, Underground was the better Medal of Honor, because it had more silly, stupid stuff, like dogs with machine guns.
Yeah. It's just like, I remember that one too. I just like, but I don't know, just kind of just saw Medal of Honor itself, and I'm just like, man. Let's go back to your top of your channel here. Your icon, which I currently have displayed on that. Did you currently make that, or did you have someone make that for you?
You know, I like to go with the idea of if you gotta do something, you gotta do it yourself. And that's what I did. Like, if you want to do something right, you gotta do it yourself. That's what I mean. So I made it myself. I mean, I just wanted something simple. So I put the letters, I put the train, and there you go. The DaGameTrain.
Yep. Yeah, and so I'm guessing the same thing goes for your banner. You did that as well.
More or less. I mean, I think it's still a work in progress, but it still looks kind of alright.
Oh yeah, no, it's very eye-catching. It's like, you can definitely tell what the channel is about, and the name kind of goes with it. So it's like, there's nothing in between. You can't go, I wonder why there's trains on the top there.
Unfortunately, some people do actually think that. Thankfully, none of the people who watch the videos. Just some weird kind of creatures in various communities who always like to tell me that I shouldn't be putting the train on my thumbnails or something because that doesn't quite represent your channel. Come on, dude, it's called DaGameTrain. What do you mean it doesn't fit on a fucking channel?
Well, yeah, it's kind of like obvious, pile of rubble is obvious. Like, especially with the team, like, I actually really approve, especially when I'm looking at some of your thumbnails. You're incorporating a theme into your thumbnails. You're putting your train into those things and saying, this is my thumbnails. These are, linking it back to your channel with the colors and stuff. So I think that's good because, it just adds to the thing. It's like, coordinating different things. And then there's like, it's kind of all together on one channel. You get some of these people who have like, you go on and you say, so that one thumbnail, there's just like this, and then suddenly it's completely another thing, and then their banner art is completely something else, and they don't coordinate colors and stuff, and it's just like, you're like, are they on acid? Because it's like, I need acid to enjoy this.
Some channels have this weird habit of not having very interesting thumbnails or highly repeatable thumbnails. I kind of was guilty of that before, but that was before I picked up photoshopping myself. I mean, I didn't really feel like it before because I was lazy most of the time. Plus, I didn't have a lot of experience. But one day, I just thought to myself, because I saw on one of the playthroughs, I was getting duplicate thumbnails. That's what I thought to myself. We gotta do something about this. This is getting a little stupid. So that's where I started this trend of mine with the thumbnails. I can send you some thumbnails from the older playthroughs if you like. You can put them on the video.
Yep. That's perfect. That's what I'm thinking.
As you can see for yourself, every part from number 2 and after that is just a very basic thing. It has the train at the side, the name, part number, and the screenshot from the game. That's the way I like it personally, so I'd stick with that. But for the first part, I like to go a little bit above and beyond. I like to put a bit of style and pizzazz whenever I feel creative. And as such, I try to go out of my way to make something that would look like something,
If you're going to say a game on your channel, which one would you think was a really hard challenge for you?
In what sense are we talking a hard challenge?
A hard challenge, gameplay-wise. Like, to be able to actually beat the level or beat the area that you're playing. Would there any game that you thought would be high above the others?
Like, what's the most challenging game I've played?
Yeah. What's the most challenging game you've ever played?
I have to think about this for a second, because there's quite a few contenders. Man, I don't really know, actually. It's really hard to tell, but I think I would have to go with Gargoyles Hard Mode.
Okay.
If only because it's the most brutal thing you'll go through the first time and onwards, because I swear, the more you play it, the harder it just gets. I don't know what's up with that, but the first 2 or 3 levels, they're pretty challenging, but you can probably beat them on the first or second go. They're not that bad. It's the last 2 levels that really kick your ass, because they bring out the biggest, meanest, motherfuckest robots to fight you. And, Gargoyles is based on that cartoon that was running some time ago. You play as Goliath, the main guy from the Gargoyle group. And you gotta fight...
No. I was just gonna say, I remember that series. I grew up watching that. So as soon as you said who it was, I'm just like, yeah. I like that. Yeah, that was a great show. And I really need to rewatch that because it was just fantastic, especially like that. But I never got to finish it when I was a kid. I never got to finish it. I
never finished watching it either. I stopped by the first time they found the Eye of Odin, actually.
Yeah, that's about the same time for me too. That's really weird.
Funny, because the game itself is all about the Eye of Odin, and in this case, it's ruthless. It's a motherfucking thing of destruction, and I love it. You see, the idea is that, the Vikings made the Eye of Odin as a tool to fight the gargoyles and whatever else. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it got out of hand really quick because, they tried misusing it, and I think I guess, got self-aware or something and learned how to fly. And it really became a problem because as soon as the second level, one of the Vikings just absorbs the damn thing into him, becoming like this super mutant with a giant hammer. He's pretty tough. I mean, he can smash the floor away, and you'll have some pitfalls to avoid. But eventually, when you move on to the modern times with the robots and everything, some robots get absorbed by this thing. Like, they absorb the Eye of Odin. They become bigger and meaner. And damn, do they know how to fight. One of them just flung me off the elevator so damn fast, I only realized when the character was outside of the screen.
Oh. Oh, wow. Jeez.
I got pissed off pretty hard because I've never seen anything so fast. I couldn't even realize that. I couldn't even comprehend how fast that was. Only in editing did I manage to see how quick it was, and goddamn, I think it was only a few frames of time that I was on the screen when I got flung off the elevator side. Okay. But it's not actually the robots with the power of the Eye of Odin that are the challenge. It's the regular mooks, because you got these Hulks, I think they're called, or just some really big walker mechs. God damn, they take a lot of hits to kill, and they can dish out so much pain. It's obnoxiously ridiculous. They can kill you in like 2 or 3 hits. Most of the time, you have to run, but in some cases, you have no choice. And because of that, I feel it's one of the hardest games of all time on the Sega Genesis, because you really have to know your character's abilities. You have to make use of every move to not only avoid dying, but actually destroy the enemies.
Yeah, I would say like that. So I'm just trying to remember exactly. Was that for that Gargoyles game? Was that mainly a kind of platformer, or is that kind of a smash up? I'm just trying to remember exactly what it was like.
It's mostly a platforming game, but you have abilities like double jumping, wall climbing, and such. You know, like a proper Gargoyle should.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the general stuff for it. Okay. Okay, so let's go kind of deep into your channel right here. I see that a lot of you seem to have a single tag or so, not tag, sorry, a part of your title that seems to be consistent. Let's Play. So I see a lot of your stuff, you have the in brackets Let's Play. Is that specifically for any time that you're just doing a Let's Play of a game and nothing else? Or is it just like just an add-on that you kind of add to the video just to say, this is part of the channel or something like that?
It's just another part of my categorization process, really. I sometimes do other things like a review, maybe a modding video, and as such, I would like to make sure that nobody's confused whether or not they're looking at a Let's Play. Of course, nowadays it's probably pretty hard to be confused because there's almost nothing but Let's Plays, but whenever I do make something that's not it, I like to make sure that just in case there's someone who's having doubts, that he knows what he's looking at. If you ever click on the About page of my channel, you'll see a very interesting line saying, not suitable for soft-skinned sissies and people below 18.
Yes, I want to actually thank you for mentioning that, because I was going to come back to that. So generally, you do content which is 18 plus, I'm guessing, because you don't do stuff for kids. You don't do for as you quoted, soft-skinned sissies.
Well, I don't really care if the kids watch. I just don't want to be responsible for anything that they decide to do after seeing me, you know? I just don't want to be involved. If they see something, if they hear something from me and they start saying it to their parents or something, that's not my problem. They should have cared about their kids more. I specifically said, if you're a kid, you shouldn't be here. And I often like to joke in various ways, like I do a joke test to see if I can catch youngsters. Like I ask a question that only an old person would know, and then I say, if you didn't know this, you're too young for this channel.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, so you're tailoring your content towards an older audience, and that's fine. like, and yeah, as you said, as you put on your about page, you've just basically stated that, hey, my content is targeted towards this. If you're a kid, well, okay, but I'm not responsible because YouTube is free. You can click through anywhere you want. You can search up whatever you want. There's no parental things that have been put on to stop you from coming to see me, so it's not my fault. It's not my problem. If they have a problem with you, then they can just tell the kids, well, don't go watch that channel. It's like, they can't come to you and say, you need to change the way you do your channel. They'll be like, fuck you. I am who I am.
There was one person who tried that. It didn't go well for him because please explain.
This is definitely going to be juicy for this thing. I have to hear this.
Okay, so recently I got really lucky. I managed to get in contact with a person who had a copy of a game called Gordy and the Math Invaders. I really want to get that because I lost my copy some long time ago, and it's probably one of the better, if not the best, educational games too. I really want to play it again, and well, I did. It's on the channel right now. It's not the best quality because I was still using my old editing software, but whatever. And for some reason, it attracted fuckloads of attention, to say the least. Lots of views were coming in for that playthrough, even though it's only 2 parts. It's a really short game. And one of the people that showed up there, I don't know what was his problem, but he started spouting some really weird things, like, oh, you use swear words. Don't you know that in the Bible it says that those who swear are the devil, or something like that? People, you gotta stop watching this channel. He's the devil.
Oh. Oh, Jesus. You got one of those Bible thumpers. Oh, God.
I blocked him. I didn't even bother.
Good for you, because that is just complete bullshit. See,
I didn't block him because of his Bible thumping stuff, though. I only blocked him because he was telling people what to do on the channel.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Like, yeah, I have nothing against people's, religion and anything like that. But the kind of thing that I especially stuff on comments and stuff like that is the ones that come in and try to tell you what to do on your own channel. Those are the people that need to take a flying fuck out of Fucksville, essentially. But yeah, it's just like, it's your channel. You do what you want to. If someone else is infringing on that, all the power to you to get rid of them out of that shit. And so that's a good thing. That was a really good thing that you did, because that's the way it is. It might be the only case that I actually did take action on this, because it doesn't happen often enough for me to give a shit, really. There was one other case where some guy was like, you should talk less and just play more. Well, I didn't really care, because, I mean, he never showed up again, and, well, maybe he just didn't like my voice. I mean, what can I do about it? No, there's nothing really you can do about that kind of sort of thing. Especially, have you had problems with people that are just like, look kind of says, hey, I like your video, come check me out on Instagram or stuff like that?
You bet.
Don't you just fucking hate those? Like,
seriously? Most of them I do, but I do like some of them. Like, there was one, I don't know how many people got this one, but it was a Russian bot that simply said, hi, I am a bot. You can find my services here. And there was another one from my favorite person of all time, Tyrone. He was shilling out like crazy, but he was an honest working bot. He was honest. He said straight out, I'm sorry, I am a spammer, but I want you to check out my shit.
Well, yeah, it's like, to a certain point, it's fine. Like, I think I was talking to Tash about this. I got one that said that, hi, I like your video, and I subscribed, and it was in my spam filter, so I said, I approve of this spam for algorithm purposes.
Yeah, well, you'd think they actually subscribed, and that's their lure, that's their hook, but they didn't. And I actually had to look up this information, because, if you've been looking around in other places with all the drama that's been lately going around, I actually had to look up some information regarding YouTube's policies on sub for sub, and I found a pretty interesting article which details how exactly this whole process works. And in one point of the article, it simply said, they never actually do subscribe, and if they appear to have done that, they will immediately unsubscribe once they see that they got you.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it's just like so for so it's like, yeah, cool. You hit a button and I hit a button, and then you unhit your button. I hit my button. So what did we get the fucking out of this? It's just circle jerking and a motion going. Okay, I made you feel good. Now you make me feel good. Yeah, ha ha.
It's also against the rules, by the way.
Exactly.
Yeah, for those that are curious, I actually look into this as well. The particular clause in the terms of service that is being violated here is artificial traffic manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
You're not allowed to artificially game the traffic by subscribers, shares, views, likes, and others. This does not include only bots. Anything that does this kind of stuff artificially counts. Whether it's bots or by hand, doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, that's the thing too. Is especially with that, like I have a Facebook page which I put my episodes there so people know like that I've released stuff.
You use Facebook? I don't know if you can talk anymore.
Hey, I don't use it as often really because it's just kind of I had it like Facebook and like it's basically for keeping in contact with family and stuff. But
oh yeah, I understand. I have one of those too, but I log in so rarely. It's almost like an event, like whenever one of the royal family comes out to play or something.
We're gonna do one final question for this because oh boy, we're over an hour.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Oh, but it's been fun. It's been fantastic. I will say I've been enjoying myself, and there's gonna be a lot of great points that are gonna come out on this video. So no problems here.
I have to say only one thing. If it's not a question about the worst game, I don't think I'll be very happy about this.
Actually, you know what the funny thing is I was actually going to ask you what's the worst goddamn game you ever played.
Oh shit!
How did you know?
Well, I have a reputation, after all, of playing some really shitty things. In fact, I have a separate review playlist for that called Lament of Gaming. It hasn't been updated in a while, and it still is through the process of being, sorted out. Still got to work out a few kinks here and there, get into the format and everything. So the first few episodes, your mileage will definitely vary. Now, when it comes to really, really shitty games, there's a lot of choices. There are some that don't really work at all. Like, there's Silent Hill Orphanage. It's a mobile phone game, but I can't exactly say it's a shitty game because it doesn't work most of the time. So it's hard to tell. For some reason, it likes to say missing content in a fancy little box whenever you go to a certain place. I'm not sure what's up with that, but well, let's just say I borrowed that and made a little joke for the videos out of it whenever something goes missing in the game.
It's over there in that box.
No, it's like something goes missing. I put that little box with missing content and put a fancy little tune playing in the background. It's fucking great. I love these kind of moments. But when it comes to genuinely shitty games, oh, dude, I'm just gonna fire real quick because if I think about this too long, I'm just gonna be stuck here for the next 5 days.
Oh yeah.
The two shittiest things I've played recently,
okay,
will have to be both on the Sega Genesis. It's Fantasia and Pac-Man 2: The New Adventures.
Oh, the ones that are right at the top.
Yes.
Okay,
oh
so
my God.
Why are they the worst, though? Can you tell me?
Well, let's start with the one that's the most recent and still ongoing. One part left, after all. The Pac-Man 2 playthrough. That game is the balls. Like, damn. What can I even say about it? It has this idea where it wants to be a point-and-click adventure. And that can work on a Sega Genesis, even though it doesn't have much of anything to point and click with. But that's besides the point. The problem is, Pac-Man in that game is mentally challenged, to say the least. I don't know what his problem is, but he has trouble walking, he has trouble containing his smug, destructive behavior, he has trouble just existing. It's really, really annoying. Like, the first thing that'll happen when you start the game is that you'll try to walk, but then you'll realize you don't actually walk yourself. You control a little cursor of a slingshot that allows you to shoot at things.
Oh, my blood boils thinking about that. Oh my.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, but here's where it gets even better. So he's walking by himself, but how do you tell him where to go? Well, if you press C, you will be able to initiate a look here command. It's supposed to attract his attention, but you can also use it to turn him around if you need to go somewhere else. Problem is, this also ties in very intimately with the mood mechanic, in which Pac-Man's mood can range from super jolly fucking happy, rainbows and shits raining from his ears and stuff, to super pissed off, I'm about to blow up the entire planet, to so depressed that only drugs can save me now.
Oh, jeez. What is this? What is this, like a moody teen? Like, seriously?
It's the worst thing that can happen to a moody teen. That's what. And the weirdest things can change his mood on a fly. Like, there was one case in the playthrough where he gets pissed off about a mailbox. So super pissed off. He just goes around flailing his arms like he's about to pick on the nearest person and beat the shit out of him.
Wow.
Then I drop an apple from a tree with a slingshot, he eats it, and suddenly he's super happy.
What is it, that apple? I
don't know what's in it, but you can also use power pellets. I don't recommend that though. They're supposed to be used to defend yourself from ghosts.
Okay.
But there is one particular mood that is the most evil, if I say so myself, and that is smug.
Is that the one? Is that the one that's kind of showing in the thumbnail on your playlist?
Oh yeah, on the first one and in the third one, I believe, where he just looks at that jar with a brain in it. That is his smug mood, and when that happens, he becomes the biggest asshole ever.
Oh god.
He purposefully wrecks shit, he steals balloons from people, and from a different video of his game, I seen that he even can go inside somebody's house who asks for his help to move the couch, and what he does is that if he's in that mood, he will instead bounce on the couch like a dickhead and then leave.
Okay, that game sounds like somebody was smoking a little something when they were creating that. My goodness.
It also doesn't help that because of his mood, he tends to get himself killed a lot. Because when he's pissed off or super depressed, he doesn't pay attention to what's going on the screen. You have to constantly tell him to look somewhere to get his attention. That doesn't work all the time though, because sometimes he just outright ignores you. Like in one case where I tell him to look out for a door, because there's a sign showing that the door might open and, well, hit you in the face. He just ignored it and got smashed right into the wall and turned into a sticker. Like in that cartoony fashion. Like, what an asshole.
Very much so.
Because of that, because of this simple thing though, it's really difficult to do things in the game. And with that on top, there's also the problem of the game makes no fucking sense. The first thing you do in the game is you go get milk. What the fuck does Pac-Man have to do with getting milk?
Oh no, it's just some daily chore that apparently, like, okay, we're just gonna make him do this just because. It's like,
it really does not get any better throughout the missions. There's only 4 missions, and the first 3 are get milk, get a flower, get the guitar. The guitar is the worst though, because that is the most obscure thing you gotta do. You'll never figure this out on your own, as far as I'm concerned. You gotta go
Oh,
to
yeah.
the city, you gotta go to a factory. When you go away from the factory, come back to the factory, there will be a guard who looks suspiciously blue and kind of like a ghost. You gotta harass the guard so that he picks you up, you shoot him in the face, he explodes into ghosts who have the guitar, who you have to eat to get the guitar. But you can't see the guitar on him because it's hidden.
This sounds like somebody's like Friday night. It's like, oh man, I just gonna blast this ghost in the face and eat shit that comes from him.
It's just ridiculous, man. But
oh yeah.
But that, as far as I'm concerned, is only second in shittiness to Fantasia. Fantasia is the worst I've ever played on the Sega Genesis.
Oh, okay.
Jesus Christ. It is so bad that even Sega themselves said this is the biggest disappointment that we've ever released.
Wow, that's like being the parent of a really, really being a child that's just like doesn't do anything, just misbehaves and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, we're not really proud of him. I made him, but I'm not proud of him.
Pretty much. I didn't actually do research before the playthrough for that game, unfortunately. But after, when I did the research, I got interesting insight. For one, did you know that Fantasia was made by Infogrames, the developer that made awesome rally games like V-Rally for the PS1? Well, what the hell happened here?
It could have been the vision got corrupted. They could have, they did something apparently.
I do actually know the answer, and the thing is, it was horribly rushed, and you can feel it. We wanted to meet the deadlines for, I think that either the premiere of the movie or just like Christmas or something, like one of the better sales days. And unfortunately, because of that, you can feel that none of the quality control was ever even considered, let alone done. Because the controls are super stiff. You have an animation of about a second or two long for just turning around, an animation for bouncing off and you're jumping and going back down on the ground, so you're always kind of stuck when trying to just move. And the worst thing about it is that there's fuckloads of enemies. Luckily, you have, magic. You can shoot magic. Because, you're playing Fantasia. It's based on the same movie, from Disney.
Oh, yeah.
So you can shoot magic. That's nice. There's only one problem, though. You start with 3 shots. How many shots do you think it takes to kill something?
Probably more than they give you.
2 shots for one creature.
Ah.
And ammo is so scarce that you're more likely to find a diamond by searching inside your own asshole.
Oh, the compression right there. Jeez.
Jesus, but it's so rare to find magic. And you know what's even worse about it? The magic can just run away from you. So you not only have to kind of know where it is, but also catch it. The same can happen with health as well. The music is horrifyingly terrible, especially in the heaven part of the game, because there the music is so bad that the next level, which is hell, has comparably better music. Not that it means much, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
The textures, well, not really textures, more like sprite work, is also pretty shit, though I have managed to get something good out of it. You can see it in the thumbnail, actually. You can make some interesting stuff with that stuff, with the sprites, because a lot of it is pretty good. It's just that some of the stuff is either weird, stupid looking, or outright fucking terrifying, like realistic hippos in ballet dresses.
Yeah.
It's just terrifying. And
Disney for you.
like, wherever you look, it's all horrible. There's no consistency with how horrible it is. It's horrible in every single imaginable level. And I'm surprised to even know that there's at least one person that actually likes the game. I'm not sure what to think of that. But I think easily the most annoying part of the game is that it doesn't tell you that you don't actually have to shoot things to kill them. No, you instead can jump on their heads and kill them. And of course, you may have figured this out, but not entirely. See, there's a thing. You can jump on the enemies and they will die, but they will also take some health from you. As if you're not really intended to do that, but because of, well, collision, you just kill it. That always made me wonder if there's something wrong with what I'm doing. And from that one person that likes the game, I found out that that is indeed the case. So you have to hold down when you're falling down on somebody, else you'll take damage. But how are you supposed to know that? Most of the games don't do such a thing, and if they do, they actually tell you about it. This game never does. So you have no idea how to do this. And because of how hard the game is, you don't have a choice. You have to know how to kill these things by jumping properly, else you'll never win.
So it's essentially bad game design.
It's horrible.
Oh wow.
I would never recommend this game. Maybe if you really want to see for yourself how bad it is. But if you look for something good, stay the fuck away.
That's
Other
great.
than, oh, sorry. I'll just finish what I want to say. Other than that, there's really nothing that has ever gotten as close as this. It would always be either this little thing that's annoying, or that sort of bigger thing that's annoying, or that stupid thing that really shouldn't be there. But it never goes as far as everything is shit.
Yeah, that's kind of this golden standard for shit, essentially. Because
pretty much.
Yeah. But from what I've heard of you telling me about this, it's like I don't even want to touch it.
Luckily for you, you don't have to, because I've done it for you.
Yeah, there you go. Well, the world thanks you, sir.
They can't thank me enough.
I know. Believe me, there's probably some poor soul who's watching this and go, I played that, and I'm dead inside.
You'd have to be dead inside to play it.
Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna go a kind of final thoughts kind of thing. Let's see. For somebody who's just starting out on YouTube and they kind of like retro games, what advice would you give them?
Well, first thing I would say is you gotta be patient. You also gotta know, do you really want to do this? Because this is not an efficient path to growing big. That much is pretty much obvious. If you like old games and you have the patience to do it, go right ahead. That's pretty much all you need to know. The rest, I think you'll figure out on your own, either from learning from others or by doing experiments yourself or something. But you really need to be both patient and determined, because this can take a long time to just get noticed on some amount of level. Like, for me, it took like 4 years, I think, to just get above 100 subs. And that's because of my choice of games, mostly. I went for the obscure stuff because I didn't want the stuff that everybody knew about. That wasn't my thing. And I didn't care if it was the mainstream retro game or whatever. I wanted the old stupid shit that nobody's ever seen or heard of before. And it paid off for me. I got to where I am right now. It's nothing too special, really. It's about 374 subs, but there's still noticeable growth, and it's still getting me somewhere. Like, I mean, I am here today. I probably wouldn't be here today if I wasn't doing what I'm doing today. And as such, I can only thank determination and patience. That's the two main things you gotta really care about. Because I mean, if you have a bit of doubt, just think about it. Just really, really think about it long and hard until you're absolutely sure what the answer is. Do you want to do it? If yes, go right ahead. Hell, I'll even help you if you really feel like it. I can give you some advice. I mean, I've been here for almost 6 years now. I ought to know something.
Oh yeah, yeah, I would think so. Well,
But,
yeah,
but if you... Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead and finish. No, finish your thought. Finish your thought. It's all good.
But if you have that, if you're not really sure, or if you say no, maybe it's better that way. That you don't actually take up retro games, because, like I said, this is not a path of instant gratification. This is like growing a tree. You need to put a lot of effort into this to get a mighty fine fucking tree. If you just screw around and do nothing of value, your tree is gonna be shit, if it's gonna grow at all, you know?
I'll be a Charlie Brown tree. Yeah,
it'll be a jolly brown pile, that's what.
That's true enough. True enough. Okay. All right. So, okay, I'm going to end this episode of Interview with a Gamer today. I want to personally thank you, Hwalder, for taking the time and some really vivid answers and some really in-depth stuff. I'm going to have fun editing this one.
Was it a riot like Hitesh promised you?
Oh, it was perfect riot. No, it was riot because, see, the great stuff about this is, especially with the discussion, is that you get a lot of different interesting points that some people may have not thought about before, and it really makes it interesting for me. So that's why I like doing this series. I like doing interviews, especially with different people, because I can see what their point of view is, what they think about certain things, and the great advice that people give other people. It's amazing. So, as I said, thank you very much. And, all right, I'm going to end this video off by saying this Canadian here is rooting for your bacon. See you later, guys.